Someone needs to remind the scoreboard operator that it's a 10-minute clock per quarter in six-man football. That's okay, though. It just means more highlights. H.E.M at number 3, Kaycee. First quarter, H.E.M wearing the white, and they were looking to make an early and very deep statement. Riley Richardson uncorks one, and he's looking for Jeremy Manning, who's on the run. 55 yards to pay dirt. The Miners dig up the first score of the game and lead 7-0. Then the Buckaroos would get in the saddle and go. James Carroll takes the pitch, and he's going long range himself. Not quite as far, but 23 yards to Marcus Coe is far enough to answer. Follow that up with a 2-point kick, and the home team takes an 8-7 advantage after the first 12 minutes. Second quarter, Kaycee was looking to add on. Carroll was looking one way, finds no one open, so he has to scramble. He sees someone going the other way, so he takes a gamble, and it worked. 15 yards to Hayden Fauber, and the freshman reels it in to make the score 16-7. Hannah Elk Mountain Medicine Bow then went back to what was working, long balls, and this one was better than the last one. Richardson lets her fly again. Watch the ball. It goes off of Richardson's shoulder pads, and somehow he makes the catch and shakes loose from a would-be tackler. He's gone. 65 yards. Luck and skill worked together that time. Visitors still trail 16-13. This ride was getting a little bumpy for the Buckaroos, but they knew how to handle it. Carroll had to reverse direction twice before he found someone open. He did a lot of backpedaling, so even though this looks like a deep pass, it was only for 13 yards, but Coe was able to just reach over the defender and snag that ball away for the touchdown. That increases the lead to 24-13. The Miners were not ready to cave in just yet. Here's a short-range strike from Richardson to who else? Manning. This one from 15 yards. The two hooked up 3 times, and that was the third one. No conversion, so the scoreboard reads 24-19. The home team had their own 1-2 combo. It's called Caro and Co. The two seniors were on the same page for this 3-yard hookup. Kaycee with another 2-point kick, and it's now 32-19. Time is running out before the break, but H.E.M would get one more in. Richardson's starting to run out of room on the far side, and he needs somebody. Joe Griffith is just on the other side of the goal line, 15 yards away. He held on to the ball just long enough for the ref to signal the score, and the Miners were hanging around, trailing 32-25. Actually, there was still 1 second left on the clock, and in football, that's plenty of time. Carroll picks up the squib kick, gets some blocking. There's the buzzer from the scoreboard, and that was his cue to go. He'll spin his way out of one tackle, zigzag another, en route to a 50-yard kickoff return. The Buckaroos go into the locker room up 40-25. Third quarter, this play had disaster written all over it. Fauber should have just taken the sack for the safety. Instead, he handed the ball to Richardson, who will walk in for a 2-yard pick six. You can give him gifts like that any day. He'll take them. Hannah Elk Mountain Medicine Bow now trails 40-31. But then the boys in blue would regroup and reach into their bag of tricks. This is Bo Lund taking the reverse and going around the other way. He's only got one defender to beat, and he'll just get past the goal line for a 14-yard touchdown. Kaycee prefers to kick after their scores, so they're now up 48-31. Back comes H.E.M. Richardson looking for a new target, and he's got one in the form of Quade Palm, and he's off to the races for 34 yards. The score would be a little closer if the Miners could work on their PAT tries, so they're still down 48-38. But the home team was looking for a good ride, Cowboy. Carroll has already thrown for 4 TDs, and here comes the 5th one. 12 yards on the fade to Lund, and it was just another day at the office. Home team is still on top by a score of 56-38. Then they switch things up and go to the running game, and maybe they should do this more often. Fauber on the end around, and he'll get some great blocking and go untouched for 50 yards to the promised land. That looked pretty easy. Buckaroos now have a 62-38 advantage going into the final 10 minutes. Fourth quarter, the Miners still had one last dig left in them. This is R.J. Seaman checking in from 12 yards to help the cause, but his team needs more, down 62-44. The day belonged to the boys in blue, and here comes the finishing touches. Philip Redkirk gets in on the act with this 13-yard run. Kaycee would later tack on a field goal, which is worth 4 points in 6-man, and the home team would start the season off on a good note, winning 74-44.